Carol Crumley from Shalem Institute, and I'm here with our friend Richard Rohr, who's been with us for the Gerald May Seminar for an evening and a day of teaching on contemplative consciousness, non-dual awareness, seeing as the mystics see. So Richard, it's been a great weekend with you. I just thank you for being with us. And I'm just wondering, you know, we've had all of this teaching during this time, but if you were going to pull the jewel from the lotus, so to speak, the precious pearl of this time that we could offer to those folks who are joining us now, to just give a word of teaching for them, for the beginner and for those along the way, maybe, what would you say is the one thing necessary?
Well, in short, the reason the mystics could overlook offenses, forgive their enemies, be sort of with open-hearted awareness in the world, is because they actually processed reality differently. I usually say great love, great suffering, deep prayer taught them to read reality with a wider lens. What most of us do before great love, great suffering, and deep prayer is we tend to, I always say, eliminate half of every moment. That part of the moment that is mysterious, new to us, problematic to us, threatening, we sort of just push it aside as that's not true. And that's not good to do that, because actually what you do is you miss half of everything. The mysterious part, and of course God by definition is always going to be mystery. So the mystics would go deeper and deeper in their journey with God because they were always open to the mysterious revealing itself slowly as God was ready. So that's why they just keep becoming larger and larger souls, bigger and bigger hearts, bigger and bigger minds. So today we have to be taught how to do that. We don't in our culture come to it naturally. So that's the advantage, and I mean this sincerely, and the importance of an institute like Shalem, that you say, okay, we got to teach this to a culture that no longer understands it. Yeah.
Well, it's been our privilege to do that work for 35 years now. 35 years now, and to have graduates all over the country and around the world who are carrying forward that work. And we feel such an alignment with your work at the Center for Action and Contemplation in New Mexico. So we just thank you, Richard, for all that you've done in partnership and friendship and colleagueship and for the wisdom that you've brought to so many, Richard, over the years, and especially to us on this weekend. Thank you. On behalf of so many, and so many more that are watching us now, I just say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Well, from my side, Shalem is one of the few organizations that I really know puts this message front and center, and in a mature way, an ecumenical way, a holistic way that includes head and heart and body, and that's the best. So as you probably know, I've called Shalem the Cadillac of spiritual direction programs, contemplative teaching programs, and I've said that in this country and in other parts of the world, and I sincerely mean it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
True.
And of course you have our blessings.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
you. I take them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Richard.
You're welcome, Carol. God bless you.
You know, Richard, I was so impressed over the weekend by what you said about the importance of one's personal practice and also being in community for practice as well. So I just wondered if you could just say a few words of that for our folks who weren't here.
You know, we've come from a history, all of us together, and it's where history was, of emphasizing the group you belong to. That was sort of your enlightenment, to belong to an enlightened group, or to have belief systems. And I'm convinced that the people who keep growing are the people who move beyond that to actual practices, something whereby you can experience the truth of this for yourself. And in many ways, I don't care what your practice is, but you're going to have to be disciplined and persevering in recognizing your compulsive patterns of thinking, of feeling, of reacting, and then find some way to let go of those. Or really, our prayer lives, they never, as I say, invade the unconscious. They never touch that level at which all of our hurts and memories and angers lie, and lie hidden very often. So practice-based faith, I think, is going to be the only way we can create mature Christians, Jews, Muslims, anybody. But not just practices that are external, because we bow or because we genuflect, but actually practices that are real technologies, if you don't mind me using that word, for rewiring, reprocessing how you take in your moment, how you take in relationships, how you do your day. I often say, how you do anything is how you do everything. So you got to look at how you do anything, and that's how you're doing everything.
Thank you. That's a great word.
I should have used that today.
Oh, that's a great word. Well, you know, many of you have known Richard as a wonderful speaker, as we've experienced you this weekend, and retreat leader, Franciscan priest, animator of your center. But you're also an author with just books that have sold millions, and we were focusing on The Naked Now this weekend, Seeing as the Mystics See, but also your newest book now on Falling Upward, the spirituality for the second half of life. So you can deepen your understanding through these readings, as well as all the many other publications and tapes and ways that you present your material.
My classmates say I don't have an unrecorded thought.
Well, I say praise God for
well,
that.
if it's helping people, it's worth it, but thank you for mentioning.
Thank you, Richard, for your
Thank
work,
you,
your
Carol.
life,
Thank
your
you.
vision.
Thank
your
you for
ministry.
yours equally.
To all
Thank you.
of us.
Good.